Tonight, the government has shut down once again. We bring you the latest and what we can expect for tomorrow. Your ABC Montana News at 10 starts right now.
From around the big sky and your local hometown news station, this is Montana Right Now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel Crow Spreading Wings. More on the government shutdown in a bit, but first, a winter storm taking over most of the state. The Montana Department of Transportation warned travelers in the Helena area to avoid travel if possible. Before lunch even rolled around today, the Helena Public School District already made the decision about canceling school tomorrow. As of right now, the state athletic tournaments are a go, including state swimming here in Great Falls and state wrestling in Billings. However, Helena area basketball games have been postponed until Saturday. There are no basketball games tonight or tomorrow for Helena High or Capitol High. Of course, stay with KFBB on air and online as we continue to track cancellations as results of this storm. Helena is not the only place seeing rough conditions. The Highline seeing dangerous conditions as well today. Officials even issued an emergency travel only advisory. This video is taken by Josh Miller last night and into this morning shows piles of snow in Havre. He tells us drifts are upwards of 3 feet high and really hasn't slowed down. The Havre Police Department has issued several warnings and is asking residents to avoid parking on the street for snowplows to get as much done as possible. St. Jude Thaddeus School in Havre is closed tomorrow. With that, we head over to our Allison Cummings in the Weather Center. Allison, are we expecting to be slammed with more snow?
Being slammed by snow, no.
But Montana weather is always keeping us on our toes. Thanks, Allison. Now, this just in. Moments ago, the U.S. government officially shuts down for the second time this year. There's a bipartisan bill on the table, but Natasha Chen shows us why one senator is blocking the vote.
Well, you know what? I think the country's worth a debate till 3 in the morning.
If Senator Rand Paul continues to stall, around 3 in the morning is the earliest possible time the Senate could pass a bill that was designed to avoid a government shutdown. Of course, by then, the midnight shutdown deadline will have passed.
This bill increases spending 21%. Does that sound like a large amount? Anybody at home getting a bonus or an increase in your paycheck of 21%? And yet your government's going to spend 21% more without really having a full debate.
Paul objects to how this bipartisan deal raises spending caps by $300 billion over the next 2 years. A majority of that is for defense spending.
For months now, we have been working to get our military the resources it needs to keep the peace. This budget agreement delivers on that commitment.
But Senator Paul would rather have an amendment to keep spending limits where they are. Senate leaders don't want to do that.
Frankly, there are lots of amendments on my side. And it's hard to make an argument that if one person gets an amendment, that everybody else won't want an amendment, and then we'll be here for a very long time.
The Senate has the votes to pass the bill as is. The plan would fund the government through March 23rd, while raising the debt ceiling and setting spending caps for the next 2 years. But even after the Senate approves this, the House needs to vote.
So you will vote for it?
No, I won't.
And the House is where Democrats may object to the bill for still not addressing the immigration problem of what to do with so-called dreamers.
Closer to home now, the Maroney Natatorium, otherwise known as the Great Falls City Pool, is sitting with fences and caution tape around it for the last couple of weeks, raising concerns of the building's safety. Now, the pool has been deemed safe by 2 different structural engineers, but the Park and Recs Department is being extra cautious and bringing in a mason to pull structural bricks to check out for deterioration. But the Parks Department says more repairs will be needed in the future.
There will come a time where there has to be a conversation of how much band-aiding we want to do with this facility, because it is 50 years old. It's probably at the end or past its life expectancy.
Some Band-Aid fixes include the pool's liner, which will need to be repaired and replaced soon, the brick facade on the west side of the building. There's some settling in the women's bathroom and locker rooms, which has been fixed, and groundwater sometimes makes its way into the basement facilities. However, these are not major concerns right now, as the natatorium is deemed safe. The Winter Olympics start tomorrow in South Korea, and while the world's top athletes are there to compete, there's also some incredible Olympians here in the Treasure State. Our Kurt Schroeder shows you what competing can do for athletes later on in life.
Sports, let's send it to Rachel back at the desk.
Great, thanks, Adam. Now, the first controversy of the 2018 Winter Olympics has emerged, and the games haven't even officially started yet. It involves four-time Olympian Aaron Hamill, who won a coin toss to become the U.S. flag bearer at the opening ceremony. The honor is usually decided by a vote of 8 U.S. winter sports federations. Hamlin got 4 votes, but so did decorated speed skater Shawnee Davis. Hamlin won the tie-breaking coin toss, and Davis wasn't happy. He took to Twitter, writing in part, Team USA dishonorably tossed a coin to decide its 2018 flag bearer. No problem. I can wait until 2022. You could call it a miscommunication of Olympic proportions. Everybody knows Olympic athletes need proper nutrition, including plenty of protein. But chefs for the Norwegian Winter Olympic team got way more protein than they bargained for over the weekend. They thought they had ordered 1,500 eggs when they received a Saturday's delivery in Pyeongchang, South Korea. But the eggs kept coming and coming and coming. It turns out the order went through for 15,000 eggs instead of 1,500. A spokesman for the Norwegian Olympic Committee tells CNN that the mix-up may have been caused by a Google Translate error. It all worked out, though. The delivery crew took back the 13,500 extra eggs, and as you can see, the chefs had fun taking photos with all of them. A new scam is rearing its ugly head, and this time it has to do with your Northwestern Energy bill. Several calls have been reported to the Cascade County Sheriff's Office in which someone claims to be from Northwestern Energy. They say if you don't pay them a certain amount of money, they'll cut off your power. Unfortunately, one person has fallen victim to this scam and lost $1,900.
We're never going to demand immediate payment. We aren't going to tell them to go buy a cash card, and we're going to try and work things out with them.
He says they would never strong-arm their customers, adding sometimes people do get behind, and when that happens, they work something out with the customer in a reasonable way and send letters out, not phone calls. We also spoke to Sheriff Bob Edwards about what to do if you get that call. He says hang up the phone and call your local law enforcement. One local nonprofit is helping give those in recovery from addictions vocational skills and good work habits as they look to be substance-free. And this winter weather is giving them something more to work with. For nearly 3 years, Lighthouse Community Partners has helped men and women who have completed drug addiction programs of at least a year. John Gass works with addictions counselors who send him candidates, and then they go through an interview process to begin that vocational training for a trade or craft. Right now, they do snow removal, but in the summer, they do yard cleanup, but that's not all.
We have a full automotive shop where we take care of different things. We can, like tires and brakes and batteries. We refurbish, we take and repurpose a lot of vehicles.
Working hard helps gain a sense of self-worth while also providing them with financial stability. During training, participants are also supervised at all times, whether they're out removing snow or in the shop learning to detail a car. For more information, you can head to our website, kfbb.com. CVS is raising its minimum wage for employees to compete with other retailers. USA Today reports the company is boosting starting salaries to $11 an hour, which equals salaries at Walmart and Target. The drugstore chain also says it will give raises to pharmacy technicians and many other workers already making higher wages. CVS expects to add salaries along with maintaining health insurance premiums and increasing parental leave to cost about $425 million a year. The company says it's investing its sales tax savings into the workforce. Still to come, the man who's being called a hero because he quit his job in an act of defiance. That story after the break.
This is Montana Right Now.
In wildlife news, a bear is spotted already out of hibernation, eating a carcass on the side of I-90 between Missoula and Garrison Junction. FWP bear biologist Jamie Zonkel says this bear looks healthy and probably just picked a bad denning site this winter. Missoula has seen a late winter melt, making some bears' dens flooded, waking them up, sending them out to look for food. Jonko says it's early but not unheard of, and he thinks this bear has a really good shot of surviving even though he's out of the den ahead of schedule.
He's not starving. Like once in a while we'll see a bear that's been terribly injured or is just so emaciated, especially yearlings, you know, that have lost their mother, that are just a rack of bones. Those are the ones that are probably not going to make it. But if he did not look like one of those bears. He was not injured and looked healthy. And
Jonkel says male bears come out of hibernation first at the end of March. Females and cubs come out of hibernation about a month later, and it's April. That Jonkel says to make sure all dog food, bird food, and trash on your property is stored safely out of the bear's reach. You know, grew up in Montana, and I haven't seen a bear out this early.
No, I haven't either, but this was my thought. I'm glad that bear is enjoying these temperatures because I am not. I'm very cold. I have 3 layers on. That bear looked like it was having all kinds of fun. But I will tell you what, those cold temperatures are going to continue. I'll have a lot more, though, in my full forecast after the break. Stay tuned.
Well, Adam, what is the big game for tomorrow?
Well, you know, there's a lot of big things going on this weekend. We have state swimming, we have state wrestling, and a lot of records broken last year. Maybe we'll get some more this year as well.
Oh, that'll be pretty exciting. And do you think our weather will hold out for that?
You know, it'll be a good day to watch some wrestling. Very cold if you're outside, so stay indoors and bundle up.
Well, thanks for joining us. Wake Up Montana starts tomorrow at 5 a.m. with all of your overnight developments across our state and around the world. Have a great night, everybody.